Hello class. Today I would like to read a book called How Full Is Your Bucket? Now I want you to just take a second, look at the cover, and try and see what could this be about. Is he talking about an actual bucket or something else? He's got a dog there. Just kind of look at it and think about it a minute. And this is written by Tom Rath and Mary Reckmeyer and illustrated by Mari Manning. And so the author is who wrote the book, and the illustrator is the person who did all of the pictures. So all of the art, the drawings, the illustrations. All right, so let's get into this. So how full is your bucket? Felix was putting one of the last blocks on his tower when his little sister came in. "I want to build with you," she said. Felix scowled. "Go away, you're too little." So a scowl is like he's annoyed and doesn't want her there. So he says, "Go away." "I'm big. Stay back, you'll knock it over." "I can be very careful. Go play with your baby dolls, Anna." So they're brother and sister. And she just wants to play. And thwack! Look what happened. It fell down. "Grandpa!" Grandpa shook his head. "Felix, you just dipped from your sister's bucket. Like everyone else, Anna has an invisible bucket. When it's empty, she feels bad. But when it's full, she feels great. Didn't you ever notice your own bucket?" So we're not talking about an actual bucket, our bucket that's in our minds and in our hearts, and so it's how we feel. Invisible bucket? Sometimes Felix couldn't quite tell when his grandfather was joking. But the next morning when Felix woke up, there it was, a small gray bucket floating above his head. There's his invisible bucket. When Felix came down to have breakfast, his mom was in a hurry. "I've got a meeting this morning, and it's almost time to go. Anna, sit still." Anyone else kind of rushed in the mornings because your parents have to go to work? This is just a picture. Felix slipped, and cocoa wheat scattered across the floor. "Felix," yelled his mom, "you should have used the stool to reach that." They went everywhere. Felix could feel his bucket tip and big invisible drips spill out. Drip, drip. "Ha ha," Anna laughed as she crunched the cereal with her shoe. Drip. "Get the broom and clean up that before you miss the bus," scolded Mom. So scolded as she's like really strict about it. With the school bus honking, Felix quickly swept up the cocoa wheats and grabbed the last blueberry muffin. But before he could even take one bite, Buster, his dog, jumped up and grabbed the muffin from his hand. Drip. So notice every time I say drip, that means His invisible bucket is slowly emptying. Hey, look at Felix's new backpack. My baby brother has one just like it. Drip. Psst, Felix, psst. So they're talking secrets about him, and he doesn't like that, so his bucket is dripping again. Watch out, Shrimp. Someone ran into him. Drip. So all these things happening to Felix, he doesn't like it. Doesn't make him feel good. So slowly that invisible bucket is slowly emptying. It was still morning, and Felix's bucket almost felt empty. As he watched his classmates walk into the room, he secretly hoped they would trip and fall. That's what it feels like when you have an empty bucket. Do you all think you've ever had an empty bucket? Have you felt really sad or really angry? Just seems like things aren't going your way? That's how he's feeling right now. Felix slumped into his seat and waited for something else bad to happen. Mrs. Bumblenickel walked slowly up to his desk and handed him a paper. He could hardly bear to look. Felix, you wrote a wonderful story. Would you please share it with the class? So that was the note that she wrote on his paper. Felix grinned, which means to smile, and felt a big drop land right in his bucket. So now it's dropping in his bucket. Good things are happening. Do you think it's going to continue to fill up? Drop, plop, drop. The class grew quiet. They laughed at all the right places and oohed at the scary parts. When Felix finally read, "The end," everyone clapped. Even Emily, who sat next to him and didn't usually like the dinosaurs. Felix felt a whole shower of drops land in his bucket. Maybe the day wouldn't be so bad after all. So in this situation, he had an empty bucket, but this is the same day. Now it's being filled up because people are starting to be nicer. His teacher was very nice to him. Team captains today are Veronica and Felix. Drop, drop. Nice cow. It's a dog. Well, nice colors there, Felix. Cool laser ant backpack, Felix. So what do you think's happening to his bucket? It's filling up. It's making him feel good. He's feeling a lot better. All those compliments. By afternoon, Felix's bucket was nearly full. At recess, when he looked around, Felix suddenly realized that his grandpa was right. Everyone else had a bucket too. Everyone's got those invisible buckets above their heads. Let me help you. Drop, drop. Here's your baseball. Catch. Thanks, dude. Drop. Hi, I'm Felix. First day? Yes, I'm Amer. I don't know how to say his name. The strange thing was that for every drop he helped put in someone else's bucket, he felt another drop in his own bucket. What does that mean? So what he's saying here is by being nice to others, he's feeling good too. So both their buckets are being filled up. When Felix burst in the door after school, he shouted, "You were right, Grandpa. I do have a bucket, and I understand how it works." Then he saw Anna's torn doll. "Bad dog," he almost scolded. But then he thought, dogs might have invisible buckets too. "Your doll will be okay, Anna," said Felix. "Mom will fix her." Wah! And her bucket is emptying. Until then, Do you want to help me build the tallest building in the world with my blocks? And so they did. So I love this book because it teaches us that we do all have invisible buckets on top of our head. And so just be mindful of that when you're talking to anybody, it doesn't necessarily have to be in our class, but anybody. Maybe you're out in the grocery store, maybe you're at a camp. Whoever you talk to, you want to make sure you're talking with kindness, that you're nice, because then their bucket's gonna fill up, right? And if you're making someone else feel good, then you probably feel good too. So that's why I love this book, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.